Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Fall of Western Civilization here on the Game Vault. I'm Captain Beefy. And yeah, we're going to talk about Kotaku today. Last Monday we talked about a article from them about the Peoria Police Department and all that. And it was kind of funny. And it just shows how inane Kotaku is. Well, there's been some big news since then. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. All right, well, Kotaku is losing another editor-in-chief. Their current editor-in-chief, Jen Glennon, resigned today, according to a report on Aftermath. Glennon submitted her resignation, saying that the decision to leave was based on management's recent decision to deprioritize news in favor of guides. That may not seem too bad. Gamers love guides, after all, but according to a source Aftermath spoke with, the company wants the writing team to produce 50 guides a week. So basically what is happening here is Kotaku is no longer going to be an activist website where all they do is talk about stupid stuff in gaming, like DEI-related materials, carrying the water for Sweet Baby Inc. and other companies like that, accusing people of being racist, sexist, transphobic, whatever the case may be. Kotaku has long been an absolute piece of garbage website. So I have a lot of respect for Kotaku for making this change and trying to do something a little bit different, because let's face it, Kotaku lost pretty much all the respect in the industry. I mean, if you look through comments on like Aftermath puts up their thing, right? So yeah, there's a lot of funny comments on the post from Aftermath. Stuff like, took longer than expected, there aren't that many people who have a similar mindset to the kind of person who writes for this publication. That's from Yoshin. And yeah, that's true, man. Not a lot of people. These people are loud and vocal on the internet, right? And when I say these people, I'm talking about activists that masquerade as journalists. They're not journalists, they're activists. They're out there looking for reasons to be upset, looking for things to get butthurt over, and looking for reasons to create hateful articles to get hate clicks and drive traffic that way. And it's tiring. I would guess that most of the traffic these websites get to these articles are from people like me who aren't reading it going, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, there's not enough black people in that. There's not enough women. No. I think most of it is guys going in there going, I gotta see this for myself, because this is one of the most asinine things I've ever heard of. Then they go in and read it and shake their head and go, God, and then tell their friend about it, and their friend goes and says, oh, are you kidding me? So yeah, I mean, they're technically getting the traffic, but it's driven by hate. And that's not a long-term way to do things. Like, I won't go to Kotaku unless I see something that I want to make a video on or just make fun of and mock, because that's how it's gotten. Will they have a chance for redemption now? Perhaps. It would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool if they start a redemptive arc and start doing some of these guides, and maybe stick to the news, but stick to real news. Tell us about a real game coming out, and tell us about the game itself. I don't care how many minorities are in it. I don't care how many LGBTQ characters you can romance in it. I don't care about any of that crap. I am a gamer, okay? Yeah, I'm a straight white male. I am the enemy of Kotaku. I am the antithesis of what they want. But my God, if you want to make money and you want to exist, you got to put something out there that I'm going to want to play, right? All these people talk about is representation in games, and that is such a weird thing to me, because I mean, who cares about representation? It doesn't really mean anything at this point. I don't play a game to see myself in a game. I don't plug in a game like Tomb Raider and go, oh, well, I don't want to play it because I'm not a girl. No, I play it because it's a fun game, right? It's absolutely stupid. But on the other hand, I don't not play a game because I look at it and go, oh, I'm not going to play Forspoken because I'm not a black woman. No, the reason I didn't play a game like Forspoken was I saw the dialogue for it, and I was like disgusted by it. I'm like, yeah, there's absolutely no way I can listen to 30 hours of this dialogue, or however long that game would take to get through. There's absolutely no way I could get behind it. It would aggravate the hell out of me, and I'd end up jumping out of the game at some point, just like I did with Marvel's Midnight Suns. Fun game from Firaxis Studios, right? I love the gameplay of it. I like the system of the cards and building your little deck for combat and all that, and how the turns work and all that. That was fun. I hated everything else. The whole friendship thing and having to talk to people and walk around the home base area and all that. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. It felt like and you literally spent more time doing that, and I would just do it, and I would fast forward through all the conversations because they were so inane. The writing was so terrible that I just fast forward through it so I can get back to the next fun part and just go back to playing the game and doing the missions, you know? These are the guys that gave us XCOM. XCOM didn't do that crap. Yeah, you had the occasional cutscene and all that, but they were integral to the story. You didn't walk around your base having your sniper make friends with the demolition guy so that they would play better together in the field. You just went out and you got better in combat. And that's the way this game should have worked too. So it's really annoying. And I was talking with a couple friends the other night about this, and it's like, why is everything going this route, right? And I think it's because millennials are now at the age where they're out there producing stuff, right? And this is, I think, these guys were raised on the internet. These guys were raised with social media their entire lives. So they don't know how to create real conversations. You know, they're used to these little snarky back and forth on the internet and writing with emojis and all this other crap to a point where there's no, like, none of these games written by these guys feel like real people talking, you know? They're just like quippy, weird, goofy, annoying characters on the screen. You know, the girl from Forspoken was utterly insufferable. I mean, literally 5 minutes of listening to her, I was like, yeah, I'm done. There's no way. I would have, man, I'm glad I didn't waste money on that game. And if you ever played Midnight Suns, play it, you know? Go look up some videos of it to see what the interactions are like. You know, why am I out stargazing with Wolverine to build my friendship? That is the stupidest thing I could ever think of. If I want to build a friendship with Wolverine, I should be either fighting in a bar with him, beating up a bunch of locals and drinking beer, or just fighting in combat in the game, which I'd rather do. You know, do a mission, fight with him, build your synergy that way, whatever. It's utterly, utterly stupid. But yeah, so Kotaku is falling, and we're not going to miss the old Kotaku, I'll tell you that. At least I won't. And I'm hoping that this is the beginning of the end for a lot of these journalist websites, because they're utter garbage out there. You cannot go to a website and get good, solid information on a game without getting somebody's perspective on the inclusivity of it or something along that nature. Last year, it was all about Hogwarts Legacy and how you know, everybody wanted that game to fail so bad, and then you had the Streisand effect go in, and the game sold like hotcakes. People bought it. I bought it. I had no interest in Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, if that whole thing didn't arise, that whole movement to ban it, and everybody, or not ban it, but everybody protesting it and saying they're not going to play it and all that, and I was like, you know what? What's the big deal? You know, J.K. Rowling said some stuff that you don't agree with. Okay, fine. It's not like she lied. You know, it's not like she said things that were hurtful or hateful. She didn't contribute to the genocide of trans people like they like to say. She simply stated the fact that women are women. And it's true. You know, it's an absolute truth. It's a truth. And I don't care how much you want it to not be a truth. It will never stop being a truth. And you will never convince someone like J.K. Rowling or myself that a woman is anything other than a woman. I don't care how loud you yell. I don't care how much you cry. I don't care how much you threaten, coerce. Whatever it is you want to do, it's not going to change that fact, okay? This is not a way, that whole movement wants allies, Well, if you're not one of us, at least be our ally. Well, that's not the way you make allies, okay? You don't make allies by extending a fist or a finger. You do it by extending a hand in friendship. And I'll tell you what, I am not your ally. And I don't think I'll ever be an ally of that movement. In fact, I'm not an ally of any movement. I can't stand movements. Movements are often corrupted by bad players inside the movement at all times that just want to exploit the movement for personal gain, whether it be power or money, and it disgusts me. I wouldn't back a movement for straight white middle-aged dudes that play video games. I wouldn't be a part of that movement because it's stupid. It's stupid tribal mentality, and it's unnecessary, and it just go play a freaking game and enjoy it, bro. Or sis, play the game. You don't need to be represented in every game. You don't need to self-insert into a game to enjoy it. I can play as Lara Croft and be cool, right? I can play as Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm fine with it, I can play as any character. You play an IP with Indiana Jones, I'll be Indiana Jones. If we did James Bond, I'd be James Bond. If we did Black Panther, I'd be Black Panther. It doesn't mean I'm that person. And I think that's such a weird issue that these people have this day, that they have to self-insert and everything. And I understand as a creator, and when I say creator, I do a lot of writing and all that. Anything you create does have your DNA in it. I will not deny that. I've written stories, books, and all that, and it's always comes from me, my heart, myself. But it's not me in the story. I am not the person in the story. There are things I believe in, within that character. He may say things the way I say it. He may do things the way I do it sometimes. But that character is always a character. It is an individual. It is whether it be, whoever it is, whatever they are. Every character in there has a part of me in it, but they are individuals. I don't feel the need to self-insert and make myself the main character in a story. I'm the main character in my life. That's it. And that's all I need to be. I don't need to be the main character in everybody else's life. If I believe something, you don't have to believe it, It's absolutely ridiculous the way people have become. And, it's frustrating. So I'm really hoping that Kotaku can turn things around and be successful. They may have to do a name change down the road. They may have to, go back to doing news, but go back into it slowly and be very careful and vet who they hire, you want to stay away from people like, Jan Glennon, and I'm sure she's got a history of this kind of crap wherever she worked, And I'm sure, she sounds like the kind of girl that if you looked at her history on Facebook and you went as far back, you would see her profile picture every few months would change to some kind of I'm with Ukraine, from the river to the sea, mask up for safety, Black Lives Matter, I'm with her. I'm sure she's got all that stuff out there in her history. That's just the type of person she strikes me as, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So in any case, tell me what you think down below about the whole Kotaku thing. Do you think this is a good thing to have Kotaku change how they're going to be doing business? I honestly don't think the guide thing is going to work for them. I think they're going to have to shift from that. Maybe they're just doing that in the beginning to spook everybody and get them to get out and just resign so they don't have to so they don't have to fire them all. Which could be the case, if you make if you change things up a little bit and people get disgruntled, a certain portion of them are going to leave, and you only have to fire a few of them. You don't have to fire as many, if they leave on their own. So, I don't know, but I don't see the whole guide thing being a viable thing, especially with the internet, and I don't think a lot of people read guides as much as they used to. I remember, I grew up with video games, and I remember getting the book that came along. You'd go spend another $5, $10, $15 for a book when a new game came out, like a new Final Fantasy came out. You go buy that big book with all the pictures in it and all the screenshots, and it tells you the maps and the locations of everything and how to get this and how to get that. I don't see a market for that as much anymore like it used to be, because a lot of people just go to YouTube and they'll watch a playthrough. They'll say, you know what, I'm stuck on chapter 4 of this game. Let me find that. Let me watch it. okay, I watched it. Now let me go ahead and repeat it. And if you kind of got messed up a little bit, you just go rewatch that little part that you did, that you messed up on. So you're not having to read. I think that's more the route to go. Maybe Kotaku should go more to a visual medium in that regard. I don't know. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I've yammered on long enough about this today. We're going to talk some more about a lot of stuff going on in this industry right now and everywhere else in the entertainment industry. So we're gonna probably do this a little bit more than we have been, more than once a week moving forward. So I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications. I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace.